Hello?
Hey, Kendra, how you doing?
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Long as I got good light, I'm ready.
Okay.
Why Kendra look like Princella?
It is, yes, ma'am.
Make sure you might have great light. Okay, I can work with this. What's your name, love?
I'm Calvin.
Calvin, where you calling us from?
Well, I'm a rich. Actually, I live in Texas, but I'm in Vegas for Super Bowl weekend.
Okay, so you live in Texas.
Yes.
You going to the Super Bowl?
I haven't decided yet. We got a few options on the table.
Okay, got you.
What?
Texas, how old are you?
51.
Wow, you look younger than 51.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
I got two grown-ass men, but no kids.
How old are your two grown boys, sons?
26 and 20.
26 and 20. Both by the same woman?
Yes.
Have you ever been married?
Married to their mother for 19 years.
Did you get divorced?
I got divorced in 2012.
Okay. So about 11 years ago or 12 years ago. 12 years ago. Okay. What do you do for a living, Calvin?
I know everyone wants one with a good job, so I'm gonna fail on this one. I don't have a job. I'm retired.
What are you retired from?
2 times retired from the military. Then on December 31st, this past year, I retired from the VA, Department of Veterans Affairs.
Okay. But you still get money from each, so you're not broke. He said, no.
Broke is a relative term. I'm not broke by my standards, but some people's standards, I might be broke.
Hello.
Be a good boy. I understand that.
Why are we so worried about whether he broke or not? Like,
So all that matters. He a man. He's a wallet. He got money. That's it.
so he got that military pension coming in, that VA. Like, she asked him, so you're not broke?
No, maybe to you he might be. Your highfalutin self.
He got money. I mean, I would think when you retire that you.
He in Vegas for Super Bowl weekend. He all right.
Right. And what he said about that threw me off. You in Vegas for Super Bowl weekend, but, well, maybe you doing a watch party, but why would you go all the way to Vegas?
She said, Kendra says, "Are you going to the Super Bowl?" He said, "I haven't decided yet. If you ain't going, you ain't in. You can just walk up and buy tickets."
Right. The tickets is already bought and paid for.
No, I'm going to a watch party. Like that would be the more appropriate answer.
Yeah. Okay, so he 51, 2 grown sons, 26, 20, married for 19 years, got divorced in 2012, I believe he said.
Yep.
So he was married probably since he was early 20s.
Yeah, probably so.
Wow.
God bless him. God bless him.
Okay, let's see.
See what he's working with.
That broke to me really is a mindset. It's a mindset more than and if you're broke in your mind, you're gonna be broken in reality.
That's facts.
In your mind, you will become rich in reality. All right, but back to you. So we got Calvin, Texas, 51, dad to 2 sons. They're grown, both by his ex-wife. He's retired military and from the VA. What kind of woman are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for a woman with a grown mindset. Looking for a woman who's not looking for the superficial. Someone who really knows what she wants. Someone who's when you ask her what she brings to the table, that matches what she wants from a man. Because I find that a lot of women that when you ask them that question, the two don't match. So that's important to me.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Deal breakers.
So before we get into those deal breakers, he said he wants a woman that when she answered, "What do you bring to the table?" that answer matches what she wants from a man. Is that what he said?
That's what he said, but I don't think that's exactly what he meant.
Okay.
I think he meant match in the ultimate sense, like that's going to like yin and the yang match, like it complements the circle, not a 1-for-1. She got to do. Like I don't think he meant it in the way I think that you thought. I think he meant it more in the sense of you got to be able to be like you said. If he's the plug, you got to be the socket. Like it's got to match what he's saying, you know, in that realm, yin and the yang style, you know, the compliment, not exactly the one for one. Oh, you got it. Oh, I'll need a provider because not that. I don't think that's what he meant. I don't think so. I'm just following the breadcrumbs. I think when he said match, he probably really meant to say like compliment or yin and the yang. That's what I think. We'll see. We'll continue.
Is number one. I don't mind marijuana, but I hate the smell of it. So if you smell like weed, that's a deal breaker for me. I don't like the aspect of when a woman tells me her deal breaker is I don't date light skinned men because obviously I'm light skinned, but outside of that, it's a superficial thing. And the other thing is I don't like when women say you have to be 6 foot. I am 6 foot, but I still think that's a superficial thing. So I don't like superficial subjective standards from a woman. Other than that, everything else is pretty much one thing. And I prefer a woman who has older kids.
Well, Playboy.
So I have to ask you your zodiac sign. Some of the cousins are telling me, what is your zodiac sign?
I'm a Cancer, July 4th.
Let's stop this right here for a second. Well, Playboy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you. But that's basically what women are about. Like superficial looks and standards and height and this and that. Like, well, I'm not going to say most women, but I'm going to give you this a caveat. Most women who indulge in this show definitely looking for a certain height and all that. Now, you might meet the height, but you don't like that they're asking for the height. That's fool's gold. Like, I don't think you should even concern yourself with that, to be honest with you, because that's just, it is what it is. Either you measure up to, if you're trying to measure up to whatever standard they want you to measure up to, either you measure it or not. Okay, I'm 6 feet, but I don't like the fact that you want to be with a man who's only 6 feet. I understand your logic, but you need to get rid of that. Get that out of here. Like,
that's what they want. I mean, you just happen to be what they want. Don't shy away from it now. You know, I don't want you to want me because I'm 6 foot.
Man, stop it. Let's be realistic.
They want you.
Be honest. Yeah.
They want you.
Let's be honest.
And it seems like the theme of this video is superficial.
Right.
So,
right.
But let's see what what else he has to say.
4th of July.
So now you know what the fireworks are really for.
I'm say, So here we are. We thought we were celebrating Independence Day all these years, but in actuality, we have been celebrating Calvin's birthday.
Independence from the womb.
All right.
Wicked Witch of the West. Did
I ask you the woman has to look? No, I didn't. What does woman have to look a certain way?
So, not really. I like women to be proportional. I don't mind if she's slim, thick, thick. However, I do like it to be proportional. So other than that, I mean, she needs to be attractive to me.
Okay. What about money? Does she got to make a certain amount of money?
So my thing isn't that she needs to make a certain amount of money. It's like, it's not what you're bringing in, it's what are you taking away? So don't bring me debt.
I like that.
Don't bring you debt. Okay. So bring him debt. Don't bring.
And we know the student loan debt is astronomical. So, you better pay that student loan. The student loans all sis. You better pay them. And that consumer debt too.
Right.
Now that's another type of debt. You better pay that off. Your medical debt, all the type of debt.
Yeah,
you owe a loan shark.
Right. And credit cards, all that.
All that. You better pay that debt off.
All right. I like we stood on that. We said you just can't bring me no debt.
Right.
Makes sense.
Don't bring him no debt.
We're not doing that.
Get it together, sis.
No liabilities.
Right.
Bring him debt. Fair enough. So like, what does that mean? No credit card debt, or just no debt in general?
Debt.
It's more than you can handle.
Okay.
So if it's basically okay. Like, what are you making each? What do you make? As one, what do you make, and what can you afford? So, like, if you're making $40,000 a year, but you have $70,000 in debt, then we're in a negative. So, are you expecting me as a man, as a provider male, to cover your debt? Because, and if that's the case, then we're taking away from our lifestyle. And I do believe being a provider male, to the extent that I live a very comfortable lifestyle. I'm not claiming to be rich, not claiming to be a millionaire, but I'm claiming that I have a certain standard of living that I'm very comfortable at. And if I was bringing a wife, she'd be very comfortable as well. So if you're taking,
I was gonna just say, I didn't mean to cut you off. What part of Texas do you live in?
just outside of Fort Worth.
Okay. Outside of Fort Worth. Okay. All right.
I mean, he made some good points. Like, if you making $40,000 a year and you got 70,000 in debt, that's your net worth is negative.
For sure.
So I see what he's saying. Like, you're gonna bring our net worth down with all your debt.
Right.
Get it together.
He's absolutely right.
I gotta pay your debt. If I'm a provider, if I take you on as a wife, I'm gonna have to pay your debt.
Absolutely.
That's gonna take away from our lifestyle. We could be real comfortable over here. We not rich, but we can be comfortable.
Minus your debt. Yeah.
Right.
Bring that over here.
So that sounds reasonable. Nothing about that sounds crazy. Like, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So do y'all want the comfortable lifestyle, or y'all want to
can't have it both ways. Yeah. Can't have it both ways.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
You're the second guy this week that came on and mentioned women in debt. Are you meeting a lot of women that have a lot of debt?
Is it registering?
I mean, a lot of women that want to be taken care of, but don't know what they should bring to the table in order to be taken care of.
Let's break this down. Let's educate
there we go.
women.
Let's do this.
Okay, so let's according to you,
here we go.
For a woman that wants to be taken care of, what should she bring to the table to receive such benefits?
So let me say it like this, okay?
Condescending.
I'm not trying to preach, but we're gonna preach. Met a woman a few weeks ago, right? And we got in this conversation, and I said, okay, so all right, so what do you bring to a relationship? She told me, I got a great job, I got my own money, yada yada yada. But she wants to be taken care of. Well, then
you don't bring anything to the table. How are you bringing that to a
relationship if you want to be taken care of? Because that's not something a man can value if that's not what you're bringing to the relationship. So, and it just like she couldn't understand it. So my example to her was, let's say we've been together for 5 years, and I said, babe, give me $40,000 for a car. She was like, I was crazy. Exactly, that's yours, not mine. So I can't value that. So you're not bringing that to the relationship. So what are you bringing to the relationship? She had nothing. Answer. So if only thing you can tell me that you're bringing is your independence, which is basically means you're a functioning adult, then you're not bringing anything to the relationship. So I'm gonna need you to fall back, reevaluate what you bring to a relationship, and then we can talk. Because right now you're not ready for a relationship.
Okay.
Let's stop. Please, can we please stop it? See, brother, thank you, my brother. He said it. I've said it. We've heard it. I'm sure it's been said plenty times over. If all you got to tell me is your degrees and how much money you make and da-da-da-da-da, but like he said, you want him to provide for you, then you don't bring anything to the table. Let's get that in your mind. Again, we've said men don't get off on your wealth. To be all this bossed up and have all this money, that's cool for you in your situation. But when we're talking about taking on a wife or bringing you into his life, your money works against you and him in that situation. If you got all this money, well, you need to be provided for. A. B, you might want to be provided for, but your lifestyle don't match up to the money that you make. So yeah, you got all this stuff, but you're in debt. So now you want him to take over your debt, like he said earlier. This is a beautiful breakdown from this brother right here. He said it, he phrased it simply and eloquently, but I'm still, women are still not gonna get this. He said the woman he told this to couldn't understand it. And I'm sure Kendra, and I guarantee you, Kendra gonna give him a little pushback because she fits into the boss chick category. It doesn't work for men who have money. It's going to work for those F-19s, those downtrodden homosexuals who want to go from couch to couch to couch to couch. That's gonna impress them. That's never gonna impress a man of means. It's not. Go ahead, Queen.
Yeah, and if you got all these student loan debts and consumer debt, I think you need to work on paying that off. Like, y'all got all this money and stuff, pay your debt off. That way you can go over there debt free. You know what? I ain't got no debt, or I got really minimal debt, minimal, because these numbers out here is astronomical. 40, 50, $60,000 of debt. This is a car.
For real.
So work on paying your debt off. Since y'all make so much money, you got all your degrees
And you know everything.
and you know everything. Pay that debt off.
Come on now.
Biden ain't coming through with that student loan forgiveness.
Pay
not.
that.
Pay it. You know, matter of fact, whatever is your minimum payment, up it.
Right.
Pay it off quicker.
But this
Ain't nobody coming to save you.
Brother said it, man. If your money is all you got to bring to the table, but you're not putting it on the table, you're not bringing nothing to the table.
Right.
Simple.
Right. A man wants to know what makes you a wife. When they're asking this question, what do you bring to the table? What makes him want to be in a relationship with you? What makes him want to marry you? What makes you a helpmeet? How is you going to help them?
Exactly.
This question is not rocket science. Y'all been on the internet just fussing about this question. Oh, I am the table. You know you're not.
No, you're not. You are not the table.
You can't even stand up on your own feet.
Exactly.
You ain't the table.
Exactly.
You're not.
You the table asking for legs. That's what you are.
Right.
If you the table, you need somebody to hold you up. You have no legs. You're a legless table.
Right. And that don't make no sense.
Thank you.
So the question is just basically asking you, what value do you bring? It's not your box, and it's not this money from a job that you probably don't even like anyway. You're going to quit the job anyway when you get with him, because he provided.
That's your meal ticket.
Right.
You become a bill. That's what makes you a bill. Okay, I got money. I got a certain lifestyle, but my money's my money, and you got to take care of my lifestyle now. That's a bill.
Right. And y'all not, and y'all don't want to build with a man, because you can't even say that. Well, I'll build with you. You can't even say that because y'all don't want to build with no man. And building with a man is not the same as building up a man. Ain't no woman can build up a man. Women cannot teach men. Men teach men. Get this through your head. You cannot teach a man. You cannot build up a man. Because if you do, somehow you manage to do that, you're not going to want him.
Bingo.
This is not Build-A-Bear workshop. So you build with him. That's the part of being a helpmeet, being a wife. You build with him.
But they have no idea.
You don't have no idea how to do that, huh?
They have no idea. They're trying to compete with you instead of compliment you. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to compete with you. Well, I got as much money as you, so we should be married. No, that's not going to get you married.
No. He wants a man looking for a wife is looking for a helpmeet, essentially. So he's looking for how you gonna help him with his purpose, with his vision.
There you go.
And that's individual to each man. So you gotta notice, you gotta figure out what is his vision, where he's going in life, and how you could help him.
Or step off.
Gave you some free game.
There you go. Free game, ladies and gentlemen.
It's free game. So that's And see, and this is not no open one size fits all, because every man is different.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm gonna help you with your business. Okay, he may not be he may not be an entrepreneur. He don't have that spirit about him. He just want to go to his 9 to 5, which is perfectly fine.
Or like this brother. He's
right.
retired.
He's retired.
I don't need none of that. Like, I'm good.
You don't
I'm
need
good
that.
till I made my money. I made what I'm good. I don't need a business help with that. That's not going to help me. His help meet is in a different design than what somebody else. You might not be compatible with this gentleman here.
Yes, so it's individual to each man. So he knows what he's looking for. You got to know how you gonna help him.
There you go.
But let's continue.
Now, can you give an example of what a woman should be bringing to a relationship if she wants to be taken care of?
Yeah, absolutely can. All right. So, what are you going to do to bring me peace? What are you going to do that makes me want to come home to you and be happy? A big thing for me, right? I don't care if my woman works. If she wants to work, she can, all right? But I prefer my woman to have a job, not a career. By my definition, what does that mean? All right. Let's say I come home and say, oh, babe, you know what? Next month, I want to go to the Bahamas. I don't want to hear that, we got quarterly reviews due next month. I can't do that. That means your job is influencing your decisions of your life. At this point in my life, that's not what I want. What I want to hear is, I got some PTO, let's do it. Or, I'm kind of low on PTO, let me call out sick. That's what I want to hear. So, and understand everyone's not at that point in their life. And I'm good with that. That's not an issue. It's just you're not the one for me. And that don't mean you're a bad person. That don't mean I'm a bad person. It just means that, hey, we're not at the same point in our relationship evolution. Okay. And it's okay.
I don't know about the calling out sick thing, because if you're at a job, even if it's not a career, they require you to be reliable.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't call in sick whenever you want to. And I mean, yeah, like you're allowed to be sick, but just you're sick every week for 2 weeks. Like, we can't depend on you to be here. So we might as well give this job to someone that want to be here. Like, that's how jobs think. So I get the career part. You don't want her to be career minded, but if she got a job, that is a responsibility to that employer. It shouldn't trump you, of course, but you have a responsibility.
This is a case of where, this brother, I'm not saying anything bad about the brother, but he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. And I don't think you could necessarily do that. Okay, you might be better off to say, I just don't want you to work. Because what it sounds like is like, when he say F that job, you got to say F that job. Like, when he ready to go do something, it got to be drop everything, F the job. Like that. I don't think that's realistic. Like, for all that, just have you don't work. I would prefer you not to work, because I have that, I might get a wild hair up my ass and want to go, like you said, to the Bahamas for a month. Everybody can't just do that. And if she was working there 3-4 years, it's fulfilling her to a certain extent, or taking care of some need that she has. Maybe that's how she get out of her debt. But now you want to go to the Bahamas. Oh, F that job. Like that. That's having your cake and eating it too. And I don't think that's all that realistic. Like, I understand the sentiment, but I believe the sentiment, in this case, the sentiment should be, I just rather you not work.
Right.
That would just be that. Because when I'm ready to go do something, I want you to just be saying, all right, I'm packing my bags and all that. You don't want to hear the job mentioned, but you don't want her to have debt either. So I'm not saying the job is connected to the debt. I'm just saying, like, overall, that's a have your cake and eat it too kind of thing. You can't have a boss chick and then tell her, well, now I'm not saying she's a boss chick, but she's a working woman. For whatever reason she's working, it's got to be having some kind of benefit to the household, from what he's saying. She's got to bring, something to the table, and whatever we going through the steps. But when it comes time for us to go somewhere, I want you to be able to say, forget about it. And we've heard this on the other side from women. Oh, I want to be able to travel when I want, but he got to make all this money. You be bound, this dude, the CEO, he got to make meetings, and there's certain things. Even the boss got
responsibility.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's got responsibilities and engagements to keep and meetings to attend. He's got to be there. He can't just do whatever he want. Even the boss got to answer to somebody. So you can't have it both ways. And this is where I think this brother's coming from. He's trying to have his cake and he's trying to eat it too. And I don't think that's realistic. But we'll continue.
Okay, fair enough. Now, the cousins were telling me to ask you in the comment section, do you want to get married again?
I'm completely open to it.
Okay.
If you'd asked me that like 2-3 years ago, I said absolutely yes. But now I find out there's more women that don't want to get married than men.
Wow.
And that's
wow.
From my experience. I can't speak for every woman out there.
No, you're right,
but
brother.
that's coming from my personal experience, from women I've talked to, women I've met.
Would you date a woman that has children?
I absolutely would. Personal preferences, older children. I have a little rule, and it's not a dead set rule. It's more of like a little joking rule. The 2-year rule. Within 2 years, kids need to be out of the house so I can move in. All right, but that's not a hard set rule. But I would prefer kids to be in high school because, like I said, my kids are out of the house. If we're talking about kids still in elementary school, that's going to be a hard sell. I wouldn't say no, but it's going to be a harder sell.
Okay.
But ultimately, it does depend on the woman, because if the woman is the woman I value, obviously I'm going to accept the kids.
Okay. What is the age range you would date? You're 51.
So I want to say 36 to 55, but it really depends. It's more a maturity thing and a kindred soul thing more so than a number. Now, obviously, I'm not going down much lower than that, obviously, because at that point it becomes weird. But I do get approached by a lot younger than that, but it's not my comfort level.
Let's do the Kendra Cam.
All right, you hold the camera for me.
Vegas for Super Bowl weekend.
How you turn?
Okay, you definitely seem tall. Okay, we see you, Calvin. All right, Calvin, when was your... Okay, I want you to get your phone back. We can't see your face, Calvin. There we go.
Calvin seemed like his feet was hurting a little bit.
More rope stompers he had on. Put some sneakers on, bro.
Wait a minute. Were you walking around Vegas that day?
We know how that go.
Yeah.
Definitely get you the smoky souls running up and down that strip. Shout out to Vegas too. Shout out.
Hey, it looked like his feet was hurting a little bit. I just have to say that.
Calvin, when was your last relationship once you get situated?
Last year was well over a year ago.
Over a year ago. You don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'd like to take this time to tell everybody out there, make sure you guys follow, like, and subscribe to KendraGMedia on all platforms.
Let me find out you part of the promotion. The promotion squad. The promotion squad.
No, honestly speaking, it was longer than I wish it was, to be honest with you, but now I just prefer not to answer.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on when it comes to a relationship.
Kendra, I ain't.
Brother is dry. Like
He said longer than I like to remember. I don't like to say.
Bro, you in Vegas.
Gotta get off Kendra's show. All this pud running around Super Bowl weekend.
Right.
Man.
You might be able to get you one. Like,
for real.
Dude, the talent is out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You should not be cooped up in that
in the hotel room on Kendra. Please.
You might be able to find you a wife. Let me stop.
Or you might not even be looking for that. You can have you a good night. Make it a good weekend. You can get off the skid, off the streak.
I'm about to get up in this club and have me a good night before my time is up. You better go to Dre's.
Dre's always popping.
Right.
Got no flaws. Please don't bring your girl around me. I'm not playing. I'm playing. First flaw is people say I play too much. I like to have a good time, so I play a lot. I'm sarcastic. I have a low tolerance when I feel like I'm not receiving reciprocal energy. Physical fitness. I broke my foot back in April, so I put on I was on bed rest / no weight bearing for about 6 months.
Okay, so he can't get out there and have him a good time. Dang.
He can't cut a rug. He probably
Dang.
wasn't running up and down the strip. He hurt his foot. Well, that was a good observation.
Okay, well, you need to put your foot up then.
Slew foot.
This is not the place to be walking around. That's going to make it hurt even worse.
Get you a Segway, brother.
Right.
Up and down that strip.
And roll around. Shoot. But it seemed like he just said a lot of flaws. I thought it was only 3.
Right. The brother's self-aware. But then a lot of those flaws wasn't flaws, though, like playing too much. That's not actually a flaw.
You're just playful.
Yeah.
Some people that's their personality.
Yeah. Right.
They're playful. I
couldn't say that. That would be a bad thing. It depends. Maybe to one of those mean mugging, always face or scrunched up chicks, maybe that is a flaw. But on an average, I don't think that's a flaw.
No, and it seemed like the most part he was serious. So you could be serious and playful,
at the same time.
Yeah. So that didn't really seem like a flaw.
No, ain't too bad.
I put on about 45 pounds. I've lost about 17, so I still got some more weight to lose. That's 4. I could give you more, but you only asked for 3. But yeah, I self-reflect. I know my flaws, and I work on self-improvement.
Okay. And why would a woman be lucky to be with you, Calvin?
So when asked what I bring to the table, I can tell you what I bring to the table. I know myself. I have philosophy. Anytime we have a conversation, I have philosophy about everything. We have a certain type of philosophy about it because I believe in knowing myself, knowing the things that are important to me, reflecting, and being able to communicate with a person, whether it's a female or anyone, in a relationship. I believe in knowing my worth and knowing the worth of the person I'm with. I believe in the points of communication, directly, non-directly. Understand that there's never a time to have an argument. It's always a discussion. I can tell you some of my philosophies on stuff, and people don't believe me, but it's the way I do things. It's a little different, but I believe it makes a relationship work. I was married for 19 years. The reason I think we got divorced because we just got married too young and we matured differently. The lessons I learned, I've learned more lessons since that divorce than I learned in those 19 years. So I'm truly ready.
They are begging me to ask you this question. Why did you get a divorce?
Like I said, we got married at 20. Divorced at 39. We were the exact same age, a couple months apart. The biggest thing was I was in the military, so my ex-wife was at home with the kids the entire time. I was always away. So we kind of matured differently. We matured so that my focus was on family. Her focus was on financially bettering ourselves. Neither one of those is wrong because both of those are important, but it kind of made us clash. And we weren't, being so young at the time, what's what I'm looking for. in a relationship way, we weren't smart enough, emotionally smart enough to handle that, and it just kind of like drove us apart.
So here we go with this. We grew apart. I feel like we shouldn't grow apart if we are on the same plane. Like we're adhering to the plan that you as the man set forth. This is the plan. Okay, I'm supposed to follow along. I'm not supposed to rebel against that. I'm not supposed to go my own way and things like that. So there shouldn't be no more growing apart. So it seems like she wanted you to be more ambitious than what you were. And there's nothing wrong with, I mean, dude served the country. Like was in the military. There's nothing wrong with what you were doing. But her hypergamy.
No. Not her hypergamy kicked in. The negative.
Her hypergamy kicked in and said that, well, if you ain't gonna go make no money, well, make no more money, then
this is what I'm on. So she wants to have whatever, the bigger house, more possessions, more things of that nature. And he said he was more about the family. I retired. I'm raising my kids, my sons.
He wants to see his sons grow up, be a family, not be away so much, be at home. But no, you need to go out there and make some more money. You need a bigger house.
That's a good point. Good point. He said he was always home. She had no problem with that. Did this all happen when you decided to retire from the military? Now that you're around the house, now she wants more money and all these things. I don't know the exact timeline, but we had military dads throughout history since it's been a war. Men have went to war and women been with the children. That shouldn't be a something that would make y'all grow apart. That's like a understanding between men and women. Hell, you might not come back from the war. This is the change. I mean, if he was, active duty, you know what I mean? Like this is a possibility when you deal with somebody in the military. They might be taken from you. You might be left to raise them kids in general, period, by yourself. So him being out a lot or not in the house every day, Mr. Mom type of situation, I don't see why that became an issue. But then again, he explained that her hypergamy kicked in and they grew apart. That's not a growing apart. She just went renegade, to be honest with you.
Right.
This is insane, man. And this brother, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years ago, what kind of brother he was. He said he's matured a lot since then, or he's grown. But I don't think the brother was a bad brother.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, but he felt that he was way too much. She was like, "Nah, you better go back out there. You need to. I don't know what rank he was in the military, but you need to go get that top rank, Colonel.
Keep it up, Colonel.
You need to go get a better rank. I don't get that. You better go back." But when he said that, I was also thinking that maybe she wanted to have her hot girl summer.
True.
Because at the time they divorced, he said they
got married at 20.
So they was 39. So it's a 40.
That's the last hoorah.
Her libido is through the roof. And she wanted to get out there. She ain't had her kids, and it's time. If you ain't gonna make this money, I'll go find one that will. Or maybe she wanted to be a career woman.
Right. Do her own thing.
Right. That could have been it too. Like she ain't with the
housewife no more.
Right.
Yeah.
She want to be out there.
Especially when you in the house.
Right.
It seems like they love to take care of the house, except you in it.
Right. So it could be a different things that happened, but it just seemed like that hypergamy kicked in.
Oh yeah.
And she she can't stand the sight of you.
Oh yeah.
At home, like, because who wouldn't? Because most women that cry about he's just away and he's never at home, but then you want him to make all this money. So which one? You want
Which
him in the
one is it?
house, or you want him to make
On
that
the
money?
grind. He's either
Right.
on the grind or he's Mr. Mom. Like it ain't
Right.
too many far in betweens. Like,
Right. So make up your mind what you want.
come on, ladies, get it together.
Well, let's continue.
Let's get. We about to wrap this up. It's coming up soon, so let's get it going.
If we could go back and do things differently, it would have worked out. I think it would have worked out differently, but that ship sailed. We ended up raising two beautiful, successful kids together. We co-parented well, but now it's over.
Okay. Well, now for the ladies that asked, let's get to it. We got Calvin, Texas. What part of Texas?
Just outside of Fort Worth.
He's retired military, 51. Dad of two sons that are older. He was once married. Both his sons are by his ex-wife. He wants a woman. Package what you desire again.
She didn't mean she didn't write it down.
Short and sweet. I want a woman that understands what she wants in a man. All right, and all right. I use a lot of words when I speak, so I'm trying to keep it short. I want a woman that knows what she wants in a man, can articulate it, and can accept the fact that this is the man I have, and I'm willing to work with the man I have.
Okay.
Those are old
All right,
scars.
let's do it, Calvin. How could she reach out to you? Oh, what was the age range? You're 51?
35.
I said roughly between 36 and 54.
Okay.
All right. And what you didn't ask me if I'm willing to date long distance.
Are you willing to date long distance?
I absolutely am. Like I said, I'm retired. I travel probably about once a month already. So travel long distance is not an issue. I do prefer to date closer because when I'm in a relationship, I like to see someone a lot, but I absolutely do not mind if the relationship's worth it. However, I do have a requirement that it's not always me coming to see you. I do have a requirement that it is mutual.
Okay. All right, so we got Calvin, Texas. How could the woman reach out to you, babe? Okay,
so my best way to be on IG. IG is the devil's a lie. TheDevilsAlie. The devil's a lie.
The devil's a lie. All right, Calvin, Texas, 51, retired military. Keep me posted how it goes, babe.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you, Korea. Bless you, and I love. Thank you so much.
So we're gonna give our final thoughts. He seemed like a really good brother. I ain't see no real red flags. Seems real good, sound logic. Except those few things that we mentioned. Seems like a good brother.
Yeah. In overall sense, yeah, I see brother probably has some good prospects. There's one thing I want to clarify. Like I said, brother has his picadillos, and I compared some of his wants and desires to a woman, but there is a difference. There's another one of those examples where women are not one for one. Women and men are not one to one, identical, monoliths, and they should be compared to each other like this. See, this brother, he might have some of those similar talking points to women, but there's a big difference here. He's going to be the one providing. It's going to be his resources that's put out, and he's going to have to foot the bill. So his desires or demands maybe need to be taken into consideration, being that he's going to be the one coming out of pocket. If you're looking for a provider, then it would be hard for you to set all these parameters at the same time. So whereas the provider, the one with the bread, is going to be the one to set the parameters. I just wanted to make that little distinction. But other than that, brother had good prospects. He was married. He's, said he's willing to provide. His deal breakers are his deal breakers, and the little talking points that we had. But other than that, he seems like a good brother. But, if it's one thing we could take out of this, the situation between him and his ex-wife, the mother of his children, her hypergamy kicked in. And this is more of a commonplace kind of thing. He said another thing profound what the brother said, a lot of these women don't want to be married. So, take that with a grain of salt, but take that information and put it in the back of your mind, plant a seed, and look around the landscape. It's easy for us to paint narratives, and the women will say the men are not the ones serious and don't want to get married. But as we see, it be a lot of these kind of cases like this here. But yet again, we ain't gonna hold that up too long. We want to hear, that's what we think, but we definitely want to hear what you think. So please don't hesitate. You know the motto. We appreciate you coming out. Get down in the comments. Let us know if we were on base, off base. We definitely promote full 360-degree thought. We think on a full spectrum here. So please get down in the comments. Leave a like on your way out. Sub if you want. We'll be back with another one real soon. Thank y'all for coming out. Y'all have a good night.